All right. Do I have my beverage service all lined up right?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Gayute. What's up? Hey.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Gayute.
Gayute, the rabid fish fan in me salutes and recognizes the rabid fish fan in you.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you. Yeah.
Hi. And I see you.
And I see you. They're gonna be like all night long. Hey, happy Fishmas. It's Fishmas, you know?
Yeah, in addition, it's also the solstice.
Oh, get out. Is it?
The summer portal.
Oh man, that's normally a national holiday. Too bad here in Japan. Too bad it is because it's too bad it's a Saturday or a Sunday because yeah, we would have gotten like that day off.
It must be Sunday for you. It's Saturday here.
It's Sunday at 2 a.m. Yeah, so which is why yeah, it's tricky to get together, you know. It's really tricky to get together, but I'm happy to connect with you anytime. But this is the one, like, it's Saturday night, you know, so I have a day to recover, and it's like it's a night I could probably go an all-nighter. However, can I tell you, I want to hear what you're up to, but I want to tell you what I'm up to.
Yeah, tell me.
I had a massive, huge, crazy day today. So we were on couch tour.
I was too.
Oh, were you? Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I'm excited.
We're going to talk about. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of the show, but I caught the tail of it. But started out with like getting a video out, like got the kid off to school. Did I take the? Yeah, like we drove to like it was it's like 3 days in one, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, I got a really great video out, and then my friend interviewed me for his channel, and like I got to talk about Phish, and I got to talk about Libby.
Oh.
And I got to talk about the Amusement. Did you ever see the Amusement? Did you go see the Amusement?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Amusement, man! I got asked like, what's the most?
What's that dude's name?
Nathan Moore.
Yeah. Epic. Great songwriter.
Nathan Moore, Amy Kroll. I was asked what's the most underrated band of all time, and I was like, The Amusement, without a doubt, no hesitation. Don't have to think about it. The Amusement. It's like the greatest band ever.
Deep cuts.
Dude, I love The Amusement. Such a good band. And you know, The Amusement gave us some music for Photohoku, for the volunteer project, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like so chuffed, and Nathan was like, you know, that's what it's there for, man. That's what it's like. I explained to him what the project was, and he was like, that's what the music's there for. And I was just like, he's so freaking cool. And what a treasure that whole thing that happened. And I feel so lucky. But I was thinking about it. He was on Jam Cruise, I think.
Yes.
He's been on a couple Jam Cruise, and he's like, I was watching some old videos of theirs today. The Amusement. Anybody who doesn't know the Amusement, God, I just want to say, consider yourself lucky today, because you have just the Amusement. There's not that much out there that you can find, actually. There's not a ton online, but there's a concert from like 2000, like I want to say like 2000, and they're so young, and Nathan's like shirtless, and they're just sweaty, and he's so handsome.
Sorry, did you say sweaty, shirtless, and sweaty?
No, he truly is, though. He's a little Adonis. He's quite a good.
I'm catching what you're putting
down.
No,
he is. He's just got so much charisma on stage, and he gets up there and he's like, I don't know what. You catch him kind of in the middle of the bit, and he's like, we're recording tonight, so can you lay it on thick, extra special tonight? And you hear this crowd, and it's huge. And it, like, you can tell that it's like everybody's stoked. And I'm just thinking, like,
recording from High Sierra?
I want to say it's like New Mexico. It's like
the
Club Milan, wherever that is. It's like Santa Fe, maybe. I'm not even sure. But they're so young, and there's just, and I thought they had like 4 albums, and they have like 8. There's like a lot. and they get kind of put in the same family as Phish some from time to time, and the fans kind of overlap. I see you chatting to somebody off screen.
Yeah. So keep going, but then this is part of my world, and I'll
Okay.
describe why I
Well,
made
okay,
it.
because if it's somebody who I want to say hi to, I want to say hi to. I just want to get in on the fun. That's
I
all.
know.
But
Keep
we
going
don't have
though.
to. It's okay.
Finish about Nathan Moore and his sweaty shirtless.
Anyway, you got to see this. He's just so, that guy's such a treasure, and it was just like a great to revisit them. And then I like had this big day where I was like running errands all day, and then I actually got quite a lot accomplished for like a Saturday. And the kids were over here, and we did fireworks. We had a pizza party. It was like insane. And then
Whoa!
I'm doing a volunteer project tomorrow,
I
from like
saw
10
this on the
a.m.
internet. This
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
amazing.
So I just want to mention that because I'm going to be making photos for this it's World Refugee Week, and Japan knows nothing about refugee. I know nothing about really the plight of refugees, but we're going to learn about it tomorrow, and we're going to hear a little bit about like how many refugees are in Japan and what they have to deal with and blah blah blah. And we're going to make photos for them around this concept of home, which is kind of exciting. And what initially was envisioned to be like this really big event turned into kind of like a pilot sort of thing. I'm sorry. There's a lot of... Can you hear that? Can you hear any background noise?
I missed. No, but you can probably hear background noise in my world.
Okay. At any rate, so I can't go on forever. And so today's conversation, and we can jump into it a little bit later after I hear what you're doing, but we're going to talk about Japan a bit today. Hold on a second. But let's see if we can get through half of these things and then like kind of not go on for 3 hours today, and then continue this on to a next thing. Yeah, I just want to set that up. So tell me what's going on. Yeah,
I appreciate that. So you might be hearing some background noise from my world. I am broadcasting from the living room, the front room in my house today. And here, I'll just do this real quick, but I have this epic Phish poster up here.
Oh,
this is
nice.
From Water Wheel. I want to say 2016 San Francisco. It's a Pollock. It was part of the someone invited me, but you pay some money and you go in early and you get a little like wine and beer and cheese and a poster and blah blah blah. So my girlfriend Jamie had invited me to that. And I'm in the front room today because my son, his girlfriend is here visiting. So they're in the studio and taking over. So if I'm like side chattering or you see me sort of gesturing, it's because they're hanging out. They just woke up. They're getting there. They're like, take a shower on and whatnot. And then what else is happening? There's a ton of construction that's been going on this week outside my house. So if you hear big things, I can close the door. I would prefer not to. It's hot as anything here in Colorado.
Is it? Okay.
So the breeze is nice, but hopefully it's not too disruptive. But yeah, we are live from the front room. Me and my new chair.
Oh,
you can't even see the whole thing. I can't show you everything, but anyway, yeah, my week has been mellow. It's been super chill. What have I done? I've gone on some hikes. I had some meals. We had a nice family dinner the other night, and it's fucking summer. I'm gonna go to the pool later, hang out with some mermaids, and that's my story right now. Just getting ready to I'm just getting so excited to go to Texas for Phish for 2 nights before they come here for Folsom Field for 3 nights, and caught up with Cara Uchi this morning on the telly. That was nice. She's coming out. So maybe when she's here for a week, we can do the guest.
You know what I was thinking about this morning?
She's great.
Yeah.
You want her live.
Please make that happen. I really want that to happen. Yeah.
She's down.
So, but I was thinking about it today, and like, we've had like there's like we're kind of like 2 degrees or 2.5 degrees away from Phish family, you know, the
Yeah,
OG
yeah,
family
yeah,
dog.
yeah.
And like we had Dave on, and like Dave mentioned that, yeah, they stated, they slept on our couch when they came through, and yet I would have expected like our time together, not together, but our time in Boulder, like would have been, I mean, that time, that little moment, that little chapter of late 90s, that like we'd be like, all of our homies would be like Phish heads. And I was just thinking about, to like, who were, because there weren't that, they're kind of the, I was like, it was you and me and Joe and like Dylan, and like there
Dylan,
weren't,
Casey,
there weren't that many of us actually.
Jeremy. Our homies from that time were more deadheads. We worked at Moe's Broadway Bagels together. Only the best get baked. I think we took that quite seriously in our time, did we not? But there was also like a burgeoning
I
bluegrass
totally
scene
forgot
here.
that was the logo. Only the best get baked.
Oh yeah, that was like 5
I
a.m.,
don't even remember
5:30
that.
a.m. brewing coffee, getting
Only the
stoned
best
with
get baked. I remember now. Yeah.
who
Okay. That's
was what was that guy's name? Arturo, maybe, who loved Dick's
Arturo.
Picks in the morning. Dick's Picks,
Right.
and it's not like we were smoking bong hits outside on the
Oh
patio,
my
but
God, Ann. It's a family friendly show, but yes.
oh,
Okay.
well, hey
No,
kids,
you're
your
fine. I'm
parents
just
like
joking.
bong hits.
Speaking
You
of,
didn't know that. You haven't been paying attention. Your kids are still young. My kids they're old. They like bong hits. Well, not Milo, but my daughter sure. Um, pretty
okay.
funny. But yeah, man,
Uh,
Heart of the Summer. Heart of the Summer. Yeah, maybe there weren't as many fish heads as we thought there were, but I
I
think
don't
there
think there
were.
were. You guys have like everybody's come out of the wood. You finally found everybody found each other, I think. I see you guys at Dick's, and I see you guys like there's,
Oh, we got
you're
mad people.
5 rows deep of people. But like I think back in
Yeah.
those days that it wasn't. Allie,
Constantine.
Constance. She's a hardcore
Constantine.
head, I think.
She was. She hasn't come to Fish the last couple of years. She's busy with a lot of festival work, and she got married. Sweet guy Rocco, and they're doing their like married with a dog festival thing. Yeah, more power
It's
to
probably
everybody.
boring for our guests or anybody who's tuning in. Just us reminiscing on the good old days.
Well, hey,
Speaking,
this sets the scene for you and I, at least. We got to touch our roots before we get moving. Oh gosh, what do we got? Hello from Scotland,
nice.
Peter McCarthy.
Yeah,
Finally,
Peter. What's up, dude? Yeah, Peter. I saw your note, and thanks for leaving it. And
Scotland.
yes, I'm attuned to your messages, and don't worry, we're on the same page. But I just get like yeah. I just was getting Peter has been in touch with me. He's coming to Japan here in about I don't know, a couple months, and yeah, I just had
Oh,
like some people
cool.
here. Yeah, we gotta get you over here. And
Yeah,
then
me.
we've
Yes,
got
yes.
a
I must come
salacious
over.
comment here from 4D. 4D Andrea
What
is looking.
did I
Well, I'll let you read it.
Oh, far too sexy. I'm too sexy for this program. Too sexy. No, I look good in my home. Thank you. I've decorated it with my own aesthetic in mind. So
Okay.
I shine in my home. Yes.
What am I
Thank
over
you.
here? 4D chop
Is there
liver? Come
really?
on.
Is there too sexy? Come on now. What else we got going on?
Okay, so it was tour
This is
opener
my
today.
program. I could be as sexy as anybody. This is my morning look. Anybody else doing comment spray?
No, it's just a few of us. There's only 6 of us here. Yeah, tell us where you're tell us where you're watching from. We want to know. Beer and Vinyls in this. Oh, that's Alex. That's our homie Alex, and I think in Ohio. He's a very cool
Hey,
dude.
friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So
getting so old. I have to lift my
me
glasses
too.
up to see
Just
the
like I need them
comments.
to look at you here, and I need to like to
Oh,
read.
Lordy. Oh my
Okay.
God.
So well, for anybody who doesn't know what this is our 7th episode of We Read Icculus. Ridiculous. Iculus, you got to read the
Only
book.
93 to go, Bri, till we hit 100.
You got to read the book, okay? It's
Yeah. Read the book, motherfucker.
read the book. If you read the book, we'll all be on the same page, and you won't have to. Yeah, you just need to read the book. That's all there is to it. So this is my homie Andrea from Boulder, where I lived for 10 years, and we're old homies, and we're old kind of Phish heads, and we're 1.0 Phish heads, and we go back to the 90s of driving around in hippie vans and just being crusty wooks, and it was like good old days. And
we were a
but
little crusty, Brian.
a little, not too bad. We were, yeah, a little bit, but at any rate, yeah, academic Andrea is, let me less so, but we both went to CU Boulder. Andrea's an English teacher at Boulder High, and she's like all about the written and spoken word. And I'm we both love a good yarn spun. So one particular mega yarn that got spun in the last 3 months was this 30,000 word piece from Amanda Petrusic in the New Yorker about our shared favorite band Phish, who Andrea goes and sees all summer long and all year long, and who I have to watch on Phish. I have to watch on Couch Tour,
maybe
forever
Phish
and
will
ever.
come to Japan, Bri. One of these days, we're all coming to you. We're gonna come to Reiko.
Well, that's kind of what that's kind of the topic of the next two. Atamagashak. So we had a really fun time reading this really in-depth piece that was sort of in the making for months and months. And there was rumors of it, and it was really long, and it was just it was a really nice retrospective. And something that came up during the writing of the piece was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination and snub. And so it was interesting because you got to hear a little bit about the band's perspective on it. And anyway, this thing took us 3 hours to read. And Andrea was saying I love reading, on screen, and it's so fun, and Phish, and we should do it again. I was like, totally. So we've been at it for 7 episodes, and we keep going out there and finding longer form essays on Phish and ancillary works. I think we're not quite there yet, but maybe this will evolve into that. And anyway, that's Read Icculus. It's an inside Phish thing. You got to read the book, but it's all about reading, and Phish and whatever else we want to talk about. So yeah. So today's what'd you say again?
We do like a digression.
We do that, yeah. I constantly am lost in my own tangents. I need a word for that. It's like Inception. I go back and I listen to myself on screen, and I'm like, just watch myself go deeper and deeper and off and further off in tangents, and I never ever get back to get lost. I get lost.
I'm here to help you get back.
Yeah, thank you. You're my breadcrumbs.
I think if we agree that we will help one another come back from the tangent, it's like a little bit of ADD / I don't know what. You got to have a partner in crime in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get into it? Shall we? Oh, well, we talked. Well, do we talk about the tour opener? I got a few comments.
No, we haven't. I think we should talk about this. And
okay.
again,
well,
I apologize for ambient noise coming through the door.
You're fine. It doesn't sound too bad.
Okay. All right.
So today I actually don't even know where it was. New Hampshire? Where was the opener?
We started in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if it's 2 or 3 nights. I want to say 3 maybe in New Hampshire. An interesting tour. They're kind of bouncing around East Coast, Texas, Colorado, back to the East Coast, Chicago. It's a different type of tour than in the past. It's a little maybe more difficult to get in a car and do this tour. It's sort of you're going somewhere and then you're going to the next place. It's not sort of 97 tour where you could get in your car and catch all these shows on the way to Maine. But yes, we're starting in New Hampshire, where the state motto is Live Free or Die. Kind of love that. I was writing about this last night when I was listening, but I love that that's where the tour starts. And they sounded pretty good, I gotta say. I listened to the whole show. Um,
Okay.
and some stuff was awesome. Some stuff was, cursory, let's say. But Jam sounded good. Fishman, of course, sounds great. And yeah, I'm just excited. If this is where we're starting, where will we go is always the question.
Well, I had to hop on a moving train. I didn't actually even see the opener. So Phish always plays two sets for anybody who doesn't know. And we all love to call the opener, and of course they never play the same set twice. And it's like, you never, and especially a tour opener, and everybody's like, they're gonna play something off Pet Sounds, because everybody has some prediction. And
That was the after show music was God
oh,
Only
it was
Knows.
God Only Knows. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. And but of course everybody's always wrong, because they're just like ahead of us. They're always like one or two steps ahead of us, and they like nobody ever gets the right call. I wasn't there for the tour opener, and I'll let myself have some. You go ahead and what was the show opener? What was the tour opener? I actually haven't even seen the set list. Do you remember?
Tour opener was Mama Dance, which it's interesting. You say they never play the same show twice, which true story. But there are some anchor points with songs in certain places. So MoMA's been getting a lot of the like two slot in the sort of Phish set list world. But open with MoMA. Here, let me pull up the set list real quick. It was a very kind of like, yay, fun, old school, very 1.0 show.
Well, here, let me call something out while you're looking up the set list. There was a huge development, I would say, for those of us who are like really super fans.
Okay,
yeah. Were you listening to the show, or did you watch the show?
I don't really watch. I'm more of a listener.
Well, if you watched it, you would have found something very interesting.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. Which is funny because we talked about it in our last episode, but go for it.
Yeah, there was a different stage configuration than a return to an earlier stage configuration, actually. And it's really interesting to see them, set up on stage in a different way. In the earliest days of Phish, they had this asymmetrical, I thought it was sort of asymmetrical, with a piano with the piano and Page on one side, and Fishman, the drums, on the other side, and Mike and Page on guitar and bass in the middle, which you don't see that often, like the drummer on this far side of the stage. And I just thought that was just so cool. It was like a little bit lopsided, and it was funny, and
you had things to say about that in our last episode.
Well,
actually,
the drummer was always he's like relegated to the back, and it's cool to see the drummer like up in front. He's not like in front, but he's just up front,
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. And then when they put him in the back, because like basically the band's always, they're always optimizing, I think, and not just optimizing, but like experimenting. But I just thought like, well, the big development that you talked about on the last episode was that now they're all using in-ear monitors, which I know you're using, and you're like sing their praises, and Mike's using the rumble pad for the bass thing, so he doesn't have this giant speaker cabinet behind him. Are you still with us, Ann? Yeah, you're there. And so that was, I think, problematic for years, that
Brian,
they couldn't
sound like a robot. Is that for real or what? You're doing a glitch. And I got a motorcycle, but you were doing a glitch. Can you hear me?
Yeah, this ought to be better.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I was just saying that like can you hear me now?
Yes.
The rumble pad and the in-ear monitors that they're using now allows them to forego the giant bass cabinets on stage, which interfere with sound going all over the place. So now that there isn't a giant bass cabinet on stage, they can kind of do, and Mike's using this rumble pad that like sends
Mike
vibrations through his.
That. Yep.
then they can reconfigure in any way that they want to. And I just freaking love that they're like, okay, let's try something different. I love that about them. I love that it's like, I don't know, they're willing to do things, they're willing to do different, I didn't expect to see that. I did not expect to see the band in a different order. And as minutia as that little detail is, how would you say that? Like as
minute.
yeah, minute. No, that's not what I'm looking for. As
Assuming
significant, whatever. I can't figure it out. But
insignificant.
Insignificant. Thank you. As insignificant as that detail might be, I think it's kind of like, I don't know, it's indicative of a bigger thing, which I kind of appreciated.
Well, I mean, just adding on to what you're saying about stage configuration, Phish has played around with different setups on stage for their stage for a long time. And I was looking at the stage setup last night thinking to myself, this is reminiscent of Red Rocks 2009. So I went and popped in YouTube and pulled up one of my favorite shows. I think it's 73109 at Red Rocks. So fun. But 2 nights later, they would bring out Bill Kreutzmann, and he would join Fishman in that same setup. Fishman is all the way stage left, so that's Looker's right. And nowadays we sort of say Mike's side, but now we're back to Phish side. So
yeah,
I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like, what will it portend? What can Fishman see now that's different? Maybe he's got a more direct line on Page, so rhythmically there could be some very cool stuff going on with drums and piano. He kind of has to like slice through the whole line of the dudes to so he can catch Mike's eye, he can catch Trey's eye a little easier. It'll be interesting to see sort of what it brings musically.
Mike said on his little reel that he put out, he said, I'm so close to, look how close I am to him.
Did he say that? They're like kind of playing over his video, which is funny. But
I know he can't hear anything he's saying. But he's like, look, I'm so close to Trey. He was
yeah, he did say that. That was cute. So, I mean, who knows? This is kind of old school. Like, maybe at some point Phish will come out like not in his dress and maybe wearing just like shorts and a t-shirt. Who knows?
Jorts.
Anything could happen now. Anything could happen.
Well, that's the cool,
kind of fun,
yeah. And Trey, and then there was this guitar thing that happened where there was a new guitar. You know about that?
Yeah, the 1.5 Koa. Yes, I did hear about this. Trey was very excited, though there was some talk that second set he changed back to a different guitar. So you and Michael will have to look through that. But let me read the set list real quick.
Oh, go for it.
I think that this is fun for people who know. If you don't know, you too can go to phish.com/from the road and check out all the updates as they come out live. So set 1, the Mama Dance, Back on the Train, Wolfman's Brother, Theme from the Bottom, which got out there. The Old Home Place, 46 Days, Birds of a Feather, Slave to the Traffic Light, first set closer.
I love Slave. Love me some Slave.
It has not been played in the first set very often in its
history. Really? Okay.
Yeah, or maybe since like the 90s, maybe it was sort of more in there, but super old school set. Nothing modern in the first set.
Nothing? They opened with nothing. The second. Wait, when is that? Nothing.
No. I'm just saying there's nothing modern in the first
set. I thought you said
there's
they played nothing.
3.0, okay. 4.0 songs. But then we get to second set. Bouncing Around the Room.
That's fun. Fun opener. I missed that. Sample. I missed Sample too. Oh, gee.
Bouncing
Okay.
Into Sample is like double sing along. Then we had Life Saving Gun.
Oh,
then we had, I love that song. It's so good.
I fucking love that song.
We had a 19-minute twist, which I don't.
That's when I came in. I came in the middle of the twist.
In my puzzle, just sort of intaking and loving. Piper, I knew that was coming. Everything's Right. So, and then the encore. Come on, Strange Design.
Oh, that was nice. But that was
Harry
lovely.
Hood,
and then Hood. And then there was one more. They came back with
They
Susie.
fucking played Susie Greenberg. So it was funny as they were finishing up Harry Hood, you could tell
Yeah, they were
that
like,
they
no,
did
we're
not
not.
want to stop
Like, they
playing.
did
There was
not want to
that
stop.
those sort of ringing chords, that longing of like, oh, like we're just getting started. We're excited to be here. Let's just play a silly Susie. And
It's
that to
true.
me was like a confirmation of the muses in the tour, the muses in the house, LFG. So yeah, fun show. I think people are saying that the theme from the bottom is worth listening to. It had great jam in the first set.
I think theme is the theme. I think theme is the Phish theme song.
Theme is the theme.
Theme is the theme.
The
Yes.
central theme to this
I think it's like one of the best songs. I mean, I wouldn't say it's underrated, but it's it should be the sound. It should be the ghost of the forest to Phish. It should be Fish's ghost of the forest.
I mean, we could say that about.
No, okay,
sorry, my nose is so itchy. I'm so
fine.
allergy and itchy. I just want to disclaim that. Anyway, so that was last night. We've got a show tonight and tomorrow. Then we've got a show on the 24th. I'm not sure where that is. Let's take a look. Oh, Peterson Event Center. Brian Peterson.
Wow, that's cool.
Pittsburgh. One night only at the Peterson World.
Oh,
then
I'd
we
love
go
to go to that.
We go to Texas for 2 nights.
Where in Texas? It's Dallas?
7th and 28th of June. Then we come to no, Austin. Which I've never been to Austin, so that should be fun. Wow. Great food in Austin. We're gonna eat some barbecue. I'm gonna be out on the Gay Phish tour, which is always fun. And then my gays are on they're on teachers tour. Me and my friend Brian, we do teachers on tour.
Wait. Okay. Is that what you said? Teachers on tour? That's what. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's a double hitter.
Okay, I see. Kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then we've got, let's see.
Then Folsom Field.
Yeah, Folsom Field, July 3, 4, 5. So that's gonna be that's just in my backyard, basically. And then I won't see Phish again until the 22nd of July.
Went for what?
That's for Forest Hills in Queens, New York.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to get SPAC tickets. That has not happened. So if anyone out there has
SPAC tickets,
2 3-day SPAC tickets in sections 1 through 7, I want good seats. I'd like to be close in, and me and my friend Kate are trying to make it happen. So yeah, quite the adventure for the Phish tour. If I can go, I want to go. If I can't, say lovey, I'll come home.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, well that's I mean, well, the one other thing I was gonna mention is that like poor Trey sounded so bad. He was so hoarse. His voice was so hoarse.
God, I know.
He was so hoarse. I'm like, why is he oh my God, he's like, what's he been doing? Why is his voice so hoarse? He must have gotten sick in the last he must have gotten sick, unfortunately. Because he was, and then he he chose to sing, and then he sang like all these like it's real. How's the chorus? It's you would crazy world. All these like vocally challenging songs. I'm like, dude, let Mike sing. Let Paige sing.
You. If he's not feeling great and his voice sounds so blown out like that, like why wouldn't you just play a bunch of instrumental stuff?
I know.
Take it easy, or give Paige just like let somebody else sing. Jesus, you don't have to carry the whole thing. Like that's why you got friends. That's why you got a band.
I know. I was like, "What's going on?" And you could know everybody in the room knew. Everybody not knew. It was like I'm sure his bandmates were like, "Oh, this is not good. This is." Should we what should we do here? But he just powered through. But he was smiling. I was like, he must feel good. He just sounds bad.
I
Any
mean,
rate,
sometimes that happens, you know, like I play in a band and sometimes you're just like, in our band, we just have a little whiskey. Trey's doing that, but I'm sure he's got his like singer saving grace throat and his bar green tea and what, you know, like scooping spoonfuls of honey, hopefully to feel a little better. But yeah, his voice did not sound. It didn't sound great. It sounded gravelly, and it
yeah, it
sounded
was
like
just like super
draining.
hoarse. He just like
It
needed
sounded
a
like
cough drop and to
yeah.
rest. Okay, well, let's see here. Some
Fishmas,
comments. Too
happy.
many records.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's okay. I just said happy Fishmas. We're on the
Happy
tour.
Fishmas.
It's
We're on
on.
tour. It
Oh, do we
started.
have
And
comments?
yeah, Too Many Records video. He's talking about a video that I put out today was brilliant. I also watch him. Yeah, he's cool, dude.
Oh,
Matt. I got a video that I put out today. This record collector guy came to Tokyo and I ran him around. And there's part 2 is coming in maybe 48 hours or 24 or 48 hours. I don't know. Congratulations, just started your YouTube channel back up. Andrea just started she just started her YouTube channel too. I think she's
did
been
I?
bitten by the
No, I
bug,
haven't yet.
basically.
I have
Okay,
not.
Peter
Nice
says nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you.
Great to meet you, Peter McCartney.
40 says the Rock and Roll Hall of Snubs. Should be a breakaway museum. That's not a bad idea, actually.
Free
That's
admission. You must pay to get out. That's
I like
actually how Phish shows should work. Everybody gets in for free, and if you want to leave early, then you pay.
Well, that was there was a that's interesting that you brought that up bring that up because Teachers on Tour says Brian Gonzalez.
Yes, Brian. So
What's
that's
up,
right. I'm
Brian?
so glad he's listening. So Brian he works as a Spanish teacher. We call him Gonzo. That's what the kids call him, Mr.
Gonzo.
Gonzo.
Nice.
And he works up in Snowmass. He's a high school teacher. So when we get
Okay.
out, we are Miss and Mr. Yeah, it's so sweet. But we love slow mornings, long coffee. Don't talk too much, just the right amount. And let's just sort of like get out all our gripes before we get the day going. Brian is one of my favorite people for
You
morning
guys are
tour.
you're the homeroom gay tour teachers.
Oh hell yeah, we crush so hard.
Okay, wait. Back to nice to meet you, Brian. Thanks for being here. I know you back here to the
Nice
the
to see
Rock and
you.
Roll Hall of Snubs. Okay, so I heard something
Also
fucking
right.
hilarious today. I didn't know this. Okay, so do you remember the guy who used to keep the I forget what I think he's become like a legendary dude. He's the guy who kept the timer. He had a
Zizix.
timer.
Yes,
Who was
David.
Zizix? He's the guy. He's behind Zizix. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, but I heard a hilarious thing today that I'd never heard before. They got, they were bummed out by him always like in the
Trey
front
was
row, right?
like, "You're giving me angst and anxiety with your timer
Okay,
and
wait. So
your pencil
explain it.
and
Explain
your
it to
clipboard."
people real quick. Explain Zizix, who the dude, and then. Oh, okay. So I don't even know about Zizix, but you do. It's a stat. He's a statistician who was in the front row at all Phish shows, whatever. And he had a stopwatch on a pad of paper, and he was there. And every time the Reba was under 10 minutes, he's like,
David
less than
Steinberg.
10-minute Reba. And and the boys were like, oh, this guy is great, but he's just like bumming us out every time we don't, quite hit the minute mark. He's bummed out and is bumming us out. So they were trying to figure out a way. Have you heard this? They were trying to figure out a way to ask him to not come to the shows anymore.
Yes.
And they comped him a ticket. Do you know about this?
No, I don't know about a ticket comp. No, and we're like,
comped him a ticket
for free, but don't do the thing.
No. In the very, very, very back row of the balcony.
That's mean. That's mean. But he's like, dude is all right.
So fishy. Is so funny. They comped him the very worst seat in the house.
So if you want to check out the Zizix page, you go to ihoz.com, International House of Zizix. ZZYZ.
IHOZ. International Houses is
IHOZ.com. It says, in which the mysteries of the universe are explained and much time can be wasted, or something like that. Open 24 hours. And you could go in and, God, we might have to look through here for some interesting
I've
stuff.
never been on. I don't know about Zizix.
What? No, this is so great. You can access it also through Fantasy Tour. So if you put all your shows in, and it disaggregates your statistics in any number of ways. So like if I go look at my shows through the Zizix page, it's like you've seen Chalk Dust Torture 57 times. You've seen 53 Harry Hoods. These are the songs you haven't heard. Here is your like top second set opener. Here are the top encores. The way that the program, his brain, whatever the programming is, disaggregates the data 100 and 1,000 different ways. It is so fascinating. So you can waste quite a lot of time. Thank you, David Steinberg, for all your hard work. We are appreciative.
Okay, David, no shade, David Steinberg. We love you. And I heard that they awarded him some special thing years later. They've given him some
hopefully a golden
trophy.
timepiece. They gave him a golden watch. He was like, I'm not ready for retirement. No, I made that up. But
no, I think he did. They gave him something golden. I think they gave him like a trophy or an Icculus. They gave him the Healthy Friendly book or something. They gave him something. Yes.
Oh man. No, he's these are the characters. So for those of you who don't know about Phish too much, there's this whole insider scene that whether it's the tarpers on the floor that Phish recently spoke to in an email out to everybody.
That's what this was.
The early entry people, or the timers, or there's this girl who always dresses up. She's like this skinny little thing. She dresses up in a leotard and a full Trey Anastasio wig and beard for like hours and hours and like I've never seen her face, but she's like girl Trey with her like little cute femme body. It's like she and her girlfriend dress up like Trey. People are just weird. So wild. They're so wild.
That's so weird. Is there somebody who's showing her boobs off, or I heard some comment about boobs.
Yeah, there's this gal Mags Katz who is all about the like bikini top front row jump up and down. Yep. You can see her breast videos online as well.
Okay.
Mags, they call her on the internet. There's all sorts. There's so many personalities. I almost feel like I would hate to become one. It's to some level, like even doing, because it's like it's dark infamy. It's not like generally like celebration. If the Phish crew knows you, that could be like not a great thing. But
it's the rock and roll. It's the Hall of Shame.
It's the Hall of Shame. Totally.
The Hall of
Gotta
Phish
pay
shame.
to leave.
Well, speaking of characters, one of the other characters who goes all the way back to the beginning and who is like ridiculously in the know, who I can't keep up with, is Rob Mitchum. Robert Mitchum, whose articles we're going to read today.
Yes.
He's written, I believe it's 7 articles. He wrote these pieces, I believe. Well, he's published them recently, but they're from shows that are from 25 years ago. So Phish, the first international excursion that they went on, I want to say was like 96, 7 maybe, to Europe. I think they went to Europe.
3, 4.
Really?
I can find out, but yeah, it's definitely pre-97. Yeah, they had been to Europe
getting weird.
Times by 97.
They'd been 3 times. Oh wait, they did go with. No, wait a second. 93.
94.
What shows are from 90? I don't remember seeing any shows from like a Paris 93.
94, 95. Let's see. 1992 Summer European Tour. All right.
With Santana, is that the one?
All right, we get 1992 Summer European Tour.
Wow, I'm way off
Then
there.
we get 1996
Okay.
European Tour. I thought there was something maybe in 96. Then
96 was
we
like the
get 97 Summer Euro Tour. We get 97 Winter Euro Tour. We get 98 Summer Europe Tour.
wow, they went a bunch of times. I didn't realize they'd been that many times.
And then we do not return to Europe, but
I
we
don't think ever.
go.
I don't think ever again. And then
And
I think
then
they went to Japan in 99 and again in 2000. And that was the end of the international, with the exception of Mexico, I think.
yeah. Then we get 99 Summer Japan, and then we get 2000 Summer Japan. And then the rest of our international is Mexico, which super fun, but it's not like you're learning about Mexico or traveling. You go to a
No.
resort and you're just like, it's like Phish summer camp in February, which boy, oh boy, that's fun.
So that's interesting. 92, you said? 92, 93, 92.
1992
I want to hear those
Summer
shows.
European Tour, 8 shows. 8 shows.
Wow. Okay,
92.
groovy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew about that, actually.
Yeah.
Shows you how much I know. But those 96, 97 shows are what became Slip, Stitch, and Pass, and they were in the Bittersweet Motel. There's a scene where they're in the gun shop and
Yeah, and then any photo with the band, their heads were cut off.
Right. they're anyway.
Okay.
You guys will know this
stuff. You said we don't want to take 3 hours, and I'm with you today.
I know.
I want to go spend some time with my mermaid friend Nikki at the pool.
So there's a few more hellos here. That shit is
let's see.
Okay, hold on. That's the Zizix he's talking about, Brian.
That shit is a time suck, but I can't live without it.
Ninja Cat.
Brian?
Oh, he's talking about Zizix.
Oh, yeah. It's so fun.
I've never been on it.
Link.
Ninja Cat Matt. I just met Ninja Cat Matt. Ninja Cat Matt is FZ Zappa, Frank FZ Zappa F. What's his name? F Zappa 20. Do you know that guy who does
what? No, from YouTube.
Yeah. No, he's not that dude. But I was on his show the other day, and I was like, "Yo, first time commenter," but he was live. That's what it was. He went live, and I never caught him live before. And I was like, "Yo, you're live. This is Brian in Tokyo. You should. What's up?" And he was like, "Hey, what's up, Tokyo? Get record style." And we had a little chat, and Ninja Cat Matt popped up, and yeah. So what's up, dude?
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched,
but that's not him. F Zappa 20. I invited him. I said, "Hey, you should come on You should come on sometime." And he's like, "Probably not. Not really my thing. You know."
It doesn't seem like his thing.
No, it doesn't. I felt bad for asking.
He got himself a new red marker because his last one ran out. So at the end of the Phish shows, I always listen to the Wook Plus, sort of show review. Those guys are hilarious. And then I listen to F Zappa 20. He is also hilarious. He's got some hot takes. Not gonna lie.
He definitely does. Well,
but, Ninja Cat Matt, I wonder.
Hey. My first show. Whoa! My first show was opening for Santana at the Colorado State Fair in '92. Dang, man, that's a show.
Wow.
Colorado State Fair. Where was that?
Oh, Brian, that's probably why Phish was in Europe in '92. They were opening up for Santana.
Yeah, that's what I said. But okay. I thought, yeah. I knew that, but there's mention of it in this article. There's mention of it.
I haven't previewed the article.
Yeah, I kind of checked it out, but I knew that. But my timeline is just getting confused because it talks about how. Yeah, I want to do the deep dive into Europe actually after we do this deep dive into
Yeah. Well, Japan will probably take us a couple of goes. Who else do we have here?
This week is the 25th anniversary of the Epic. The Epic Japan 2000 tour. I know. I wish I would have gone. I'm not him. Met you there. Yeah, lifelong fan. Cool.
I gotcha.
New marker. Red marker.
Right? Yeah, new red marker. We're excited. I think F Zappa 20. The red signals yay good. I'm pretty sure. The more red on his board, I think the better the show is in his mind, is what I understand about the marker.
Okay, that's tracks.
I think.
Um, you can see the emojis here, right? You see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guitar, right? And the cactus. If you ever play with the guitar emoji on Facebook, do you know that it's a language?
No.
Yeah. The guitar emoji on Facebook is Trey's guitar. It's like Marmar. It's really funny.
What? Come on now.
Um, Pueblo was that state fair. Crazy. I've only been to I think I've only been to Pueblo once.
Oh, I've been to Pueblo. We used to do Sonic Bloom a little bit south of Pueblo, and that would
Oh
be
no,
our.
wait, Pueblo. Pueblo is south of Colorado Springs?
Yeah, south of Colorado.
Okay. No, I've been there a bunch. I'm thinking
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Fort
It's
Collins. I'm
like
thinking of, yeah.
sort of
Pueblo's nice.
industrial town on the way down to New Mexico off 25.
What? Santana gave Trey a bloody nose that night? There's a photo of it somewhere. What happened? What? Crazy. I don't never heard that story. Was it like an accident, or did they like have a tiff? I can't imagine. I can't imagine. No way. It might have had to
Maybe
have
it
been an
was an
accident.
accident. They were
It had to have
shredding
been.
so hard. Carlos was like, "Goosh," and Trey was like,
Right.
"Oh." No, I don't know. What else do we have going on?
Oh, yeah, not
Yuppers.
on. Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody who has joined us, thank you. We are generally small but mighty. Do feel free to tell your friends that we be rapping. And if you are listening and not commenting, we would just love to know who you are, where you're from, what you think, and a little hello, how you doing?
Don't you love Andrea's enthusiasm? She's calling me and being like, "Hey, I'm on summer holiday. Let's do it twice. Let's."
It's fun. It's fun.
I love it. I love it.
Listen, I'm
I'm
on
always
summer
the one.
vacation. So now is my time to sort of drop the seeds of creative projects. So this is a really fun creative project. I just started a new one. Oh my god, that I'm so excited about. Can I just tell you about this real quick before
Go
we
ahead.
get in? I have a new editing project. I'm a really big fan of talking about writing, helping writers kind of get what they want out of their writing. So, a girlfriend of mine is putting together an oracle deck. She's done these amazing paintings. When it comes out, I'll let you guys all know about this. But she's doing the writing of the oracle, the book that will sort of go along with the cards. And we got through 4 cards of 45 yesterday doing some editing, and it's just so fun. It's so beautiful. It's so emotional. It's going to be really gorgeous.
Well, wait.
Final
I'm
project.
still. It doesn't make sense. To break it down a little bit further. Yeah, I didn't quite. I'm not sure.
Okay. So you have all heard of the tarot. It is an oracle deck. It is
Oracle
like a
deck.
deck
Okay.
of cards plus
Yeah.
23 major arcana cards, or 20, 22, 23. So this deck is like a tarot in the sense that you can play with it. There are spreads, whatever. But this deck has a different type of focus, and there are plants and spells and major arcana, and this is all around what's called the Witch's Oracle for perimenopause. So, not to make your listeners too uncomfortable, because I know we got a lot of
They're your
boys
listeners now.
boys in the house, but women have some needs, and this is an
Hey,
educational deck that a girlfriend of mine who is a PA is working through. So super fun. We just sat around and drank champagne and cried and edited things yesterday in the sun. It was lovely.
what's a PA? What is that?
A physician's assistant. So she's
Okay.
basically a doctor. She's actually like a psychiatric PA, so she can prescribe drugs and knows all of like the doctor stuff. So it's, again, the oracle is an educational deck around herbs and allopathic medicine and spells and spirituality and blah 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 blah. It's a witch's thing. I'm a witch. Did you know? Sexy witch.
Witchy stuff. Yeah, says Ninja Cat. Well, speaking of decks, card decks, I'll
Timu doctor.
I'll up the
Something
ante
like
here.
that.
I was asked on that interview that I mentioned earlier, like what my favorite David Bowie record was. What's your favorite David
Ooh.
Bowie record? You have
Well, we
one?
talked. I mean, I don't
We
know.
talked about
Like,
Black Star. We talked
I
about
love Black Star. It's not one of the classics, of course, but whatever. That's probably like my fave, top to bottom. Um, all the Ziggy Stardust.
well, I just recently, it's a long story, but I recently acquired Lodger, which is, I don't know, 76 maybe, I'm not sure. It's like after Heroes and after Low maybe. And I
Heroes.
was reading about it, and I didn't know about it. It was kind of a blind spot for me. Somebody turned me on to it, and
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
there it is. Great album art. Low, 1977.
not Low's not the one I'm talking about. Although
Oh,
Low is probably it was in Brian Eno. I'm trying to get to Brian Eno. Brian Eno has these cards that are sort of like they're musical. I don't. Somebody will know much better than me. I'm just but he has a cards that he uses in the studio that help musicians get through challenging things.
yeah.
And Bowie's referencing this in the making of Lodger, and he talks about how in one of the songs, they couldn't get something happening, and they drew a card from this deck, and it was everybody changed instruments. And I love that Phish does that from time to time. Phish plays Walfredo is the tune where they all play different. If Trey goes to who does what? Phish goes to
Where
bass.
did it come from?
I don't remember who goes where, but that's funny. And then you see the acoustic army, and you see you see Fishman playing like a or Page playing a stand up. I forget what does Fishman play. He's
I've
got a
never
guitar
seen
or something.
anybody on a stand-up bass, but
Yes, you have, Ann. Yes, you have, because you've been to unless you weren't at one of the Red Rock shows. They definitely did that there one
I
year.
wasn't at Red Rocks 95. I was there 96.
Okay, well, that was a cool
And
little
they did
moment.
play an acoustic army thing in the Thank You Dick show, which
Okay.
was
Do you remember
cool.
what Fish was on? Was he playing? He wasn't playing drums.
He
He
went to
wasn't playing
play guitar, maybe a little
a
guitar
guitar,
and
which is just
definitely
so
piano.
funny.
There was
He
that
looks
whole
like it.
keyboard army.
Okay. Anyway,
Well,
I
I
was
love
just
that.
I
So you're
want.
talking about these oracle cards helping in the studio to
Yeah,
sort of randomize or focus or like rethink the creative structure of the music with David Bowie.
dude.
Um, yeah.
Ninja Cat's on it, man. He knows his shit. The Ninja Cat. Well,
What do you
92
say?
Europe. Or no way. He's just saying Trey plays Vegas 2000 Trey's birthday. He
Oh,
remembers that they
we're
opened with
there.
Walfredo. I was at that show.
Yeah, yeah.
Trey piano, Page drums. That's just weird. Fish on bass. Fish to me looks like when he's holding a guitar, it looks like he's holding it the wrong way. He just looks so unfamiliar in his hands. Okay, and Mike on guitar. We've been talking for an hour and we haven't even read one thing.
I saw Fishman get on guitar and play the solo for Weekapaug Groove one year from Deer Creek. And that was so funny. Deer Creek 2012 is such a fun run. First night, great waves. Second night, this kind of ridiculous bike, hold your head up situation. And then Fishman gets on Trey's guitar and is playing this like really bad guitar solo in the Weekapaug. It's like
I vaguely remember this.
it's kind of brilliant. You can find it on YouTube. There's
I think I
you can
vaguely
stitch together that show. Anyway, yeah,
Well,
we should
disclaimer, Ninja Cat. I'm kind of a fish out of water, no pun intended. But I'm like, after reading these articles by Rob Mitchum and like hearing your things and the way that Andrea remembers songs, I'm just like, it goes in one ear and out the other. I've been loving this band since a long time, and I are about the same age, and we go back to basically high school with Phish, and it's like Rift essentially is a kind of entry point, I think, for both of us.
And Hunta.
And junta. What do you say? You say junta, junta. Anyway,
I say Hunta, but
okay. Anyway, you can say whatever you
kind
want.
of like rogue.
You say yam or do you say ym? Do you say?
I say you enjoy myself.
Or you say reprise or reprise? I heard somebody say reprise recently, and I was like, who says reprise?
Maybe like some French guy.
Okay. Anyway, so. Let's so today's thing. Oh no.
What?
I thought I had my Fukuoka disc, and I've got 94 Glen Falls, which was your
Oh,
first show.
that's my first show. Like,
Okay.
show the cover though. I love it.
Okay. I thought I was.
Christian's got a little X over his dick because he took all his clothes off. I think I told that story. This was my first adult penis sighting.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yep, yep.
Well, I have the Fukuoka one somewhere. I don't know where it is.
I think that has really fucked me up.
Anyway,
That's all right. That's right.
so Phish in Japan '99. Then they went back in 2000. They played 8 nights. They played 7 nights over 8 days, and the famous Fukuoka Jam came out of it. They played Hibiya Park, which is out there on the waves. I live in Japan, so I should be doing this with my homie Michael Warren, because he's also a giant Phish head. And
You
but
shoulda,
yeah,
coulda, woulda. You can
I
come
know it's 2
on
o'clock
and
in the
talk
morning. He
about this
wouldn't have
stuff.
done it. But anyway,
Have we mentioned the dog log? Brian has a
we
secret
haven't.
clubhouse. It's the dog log. It is representative of many things, but he and his buddy Michael talk fish. They talk. They maybe speak more granularly than we do, I think. But I really,
Well, the log rolls all over the
I
place.
want to come roll with the log.
Yeah, the log's gonna be rolling with tour happening. So you'll see, we'll invite you on the dog log. I'm gonna grab the dog log link and I'll throw it in
Yeah,
here if you want.
maybe me and Cara could do a little post-show quick drop in and giggle with you and
Yeah,
Michael
that'd be
in,
fun.
after Folsom. All right, so talk about what we're going to read today.
Well, we have 7 articles by Rob Mitchum, and they're just like little short essays about, and they're granular. I mean, like some of them he's kind of talking about more macro level, and some of them he's like he's more. Every one is a little bit different, but sometimes he's like really thinking about, if basically we're coming off of Big Cypress, the 2 year the end of the year, biggest party in the whole world in 1999, the millennium. The biggest party in the world was Phish at Big Cypress, which was on a Seminole reservation in the middle of nowhere, Florida. And so they were trying to decide like how to follow up a Big Cypress. And I think somebody mentioned Big Cypress as being like this coveted tapes. There's these archival tapes of Cypress that everybody's waiting for to be released. We talked about this? It was mentioned. I think he mentioned. Oh, there goes the camera.
Sorry.
So anyway, the strategy, if you will, was to go to Japan and to kind of get, I don't know, shake things up and put Phish in sort of a different headspace, and I don't know, a way to not have to follow up exactly a Big Cypress on, I don't know, American turf or whatever.
Well, we found out in that big article that Shapiro is sitting on all those mastered tapes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
So the way that I thought to read it, Anne, was to start from the first show and read to the last show.
Okay, so that's 6/10/2000, Tokyo, Japan, Zep.
Oh shit! You got to read that one because I don't have that one.
Oh, sorry. Wait, I'm wrong.
No, that's got to be. Oh yeah, okay. No, wait, you're right. It's the 9th.
6/9/2000, Tokyo, Japan, On Air East.
Yeah, which is in the heart of Shibuya, which is like 15 minutes from my house. It's really crazy. It's like in the back alleys of Shibuya. It's crazy. It's just crazy to think that they played there. It'd be so fun. I wish I could have gone. And yeah, do you want to shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. We've got what? 10,
so there's I don't care if we read one show or if we read, they're short. We can read one show, we can read 3 shows, we can read 2. I don't care what we do, but we can read the next. Yeah. So we're in Tokyo. Yeah.
We're in Tokyo, Phish Japan Tour 2000. Rob Mitchum is publishing 25 years after this show on June 9th. So just last week, 2 weeks ago. And here's our set list. Set 1, Axela, Into Taste. Billy Breathes, Poor Heart, Into Golgi, Into Funky Bitch. Mama Dance, Into First Tube, Into Chalk Dust Torture. Set 2, Tweezer, Bouncing Around the Room, The Mango Song, Squirming Coil, Into Gotta Jaboo, Into Meat Stick, likely our first known Japanese lyrics, into Tweezer Reprise, Encore, You Enjoy Myself.
Yes. Anything to note about the set list? First of all, this place is no longer. It's still there, but it's called something else. It's called like O East. They changed the name over and over, but it's the same old like big black box basically, and it's loud and it's kind of awesome, and there's like rails and it's a cool little room, but it's super loud. But I bet you it holds 1,000 people, 1,500 people. It's not big.
It's called On Air. Is it a radio? Do they broadcast? Is it
no, maybe actually they might. I don't even know, but I think it's part of like it's part of a big conglomerate of places that some big company that owns a lot of studios. And there's one across the street. There's now it's called O East, and there's O West, and I don't know.
Yeah, On Air East.
Yeah.
O East.
So, but taste, you get a taste and you get a Billy Breathes. I love this line from High Fidelity where he's like, the first song, you gotta hit them hard. And then the second song, you gotta take it up a notch. And then the third song, you gotta cool it down. And the fourth song, you gotta bring it all back together. There's a lot of rules. And I just look at these first 4 songs. Axela, Taste, Billy Breathes, Poor Heart. That's a killer. 4-song opener.
At the set list. Okay, so here's something that people might not know. If you're Phish head, you know, but if you're looking at a Phish set list, generally speaking, you will see commas between song titles, which means they played a song and then they stopped and people clapped or whatever. They were awkwardly silent because maybe their minds were blank, and the next song starts. But in this set list, there's quite a lot of little side carrots. These little like arrows. I don't know what we call them technically. But that means the song went into. So there was some kind of cool transition. There was a segue. And what sticks out to me just looking at the set list is the amount of segues, which was very 90s 2000. It might have been 2.0. I don't listen to a lot of that. But nowadays, we don't necessarily get as many segues. Oftentimes, Trey will come back around. He'll sing some outro lyrics. It has been incredibly awkward over a number of tours. I feel like it's something people discuss. But this would have been sort of the heart of the segue. And I think that that's a really cool feature of looking at the set list offhand.
Yeah, and all the articles are linked in the show notes. So if you want to read along, you can. And if you want to go listen, there's links. I think there's if you get into the article, which are linked in the show notes, you can actually get to the set list and listen to the show.
Yeah. Listen.
Okay.
You want to start?
Sure. As a solution to the puzzle of what do we do after Big Cypress, the best solution was probably this one. Just get just about as far away from the United States as possible and turn back the clock to Phish's young and hungry club era. The strategy already worked once before when Phish followed up their New Year's 95 triumph at Madison Square Garden by humbling themselves as Santana's opening act in Europe. Okay, so they did that twice.
That's 95.
Okay. So you said 92 as well, right?
I don't maybe
Good. Well,
in the comments can
anyway,
tell
okay.
what's real.
Maybe the self-imposed reversion didn't immediately pay dividends, but in subsequent years, the smaller venues and lower pressure of Europe proved a fruitful incubator. Phish, I'll go too, and you go too. You want to go? Okay. Phish dipped its toe into Japan in summer '99 and found it to their liking. The Fuji Rock Festival gave them a very hospitable welcome, booking the band for 3 full 2-set shows in their own special stage area, Field of Dreams. I wonder if that was like made for Phish. Field of Dreams is one of the stages of the Fuji Rock Fest that's sort of off in the forest, and it sort of caters to a slightly more chilled out vibe rather than this 2 main stages. And I wonder if it was like made for Phish, and it's been their legacy like somehow. Okay.
I don't.
away from the rap metal and electronica of the headliners. Well, although Fuji Rock is really old, so maybe that couldn't be true. But anyway, the Field of Dreams stage. While they kept things pretty entry level for their first shows in a foreign land, the experience left an impression on both the band and their faraway fans who showed up for this return visit. Unlike European trips of the past, it wasn't all American tourists buying up the tickets.
And Japan Japan wasn't really equivalent to Europe in plenty of other ways. The venues on this tour didn't have the heavy historical baggage of Europe's. In fact, most of them look like they're embedded in malls. For a band chasing a new sound, it's probably harder to imagine the future when you're playing in the Royal Albert Hall than it is after spending your day in the neon forest of Shibuya. And instead of the big rural multi-band festivals and underwhelming one-set appearances of Europe, Phish stuck to themselves and the country's largest cities, playing 3 nights around the sprawl of Tokyo and 2 more in Osaka. All those ingredients added up to one of the most interesting experiments. Thank you. Interesting experiments of the entire Phish saga, putting a band close to its peak powers and success into a wholly foreign environment that went way past language barriers. And it's immediately audible on tape. Despite the stereotype of Japanese politeness, the crowds are not church silent. There's plenty of hoots and hollers throughout a song like First Tube, which is engineered to elicit reflexive whoops. And a bro served too many Sapporos decides to show off his tourist guide Japanese during the quiet parts of Yem. But the usual ambient chomper hum is noticeably absent, and even the crowd requests between songs are impressively informed. At one point, a man with a thick accent, not Japanese but certainly international, demands the Weekapog they forgot to play in New York City.
That's kind of funny. I mean, I like the notion that, for a band chasing a new sound, it's probably hard to imagine the future when you're playing in the Royal Albert Hall than it is after spending your day in the neon forest of Shibuya. I just like the idea of like kind of going backwards. And, I would think as a band, you're like constantly on the next, passing the next threshold one after another. And like, maybe there's like one step backwards, 2 step forwards as best as, for a successful band, but for it to revert all the way to like a club has got to be really fun. But Phish kind of does this a lot through the tour. There's lots of shows that hold like 20 or 30,000, and then there's shows that hold like 7. I'm like, how many people does Red Rocks hold?
9,300, I want to say.
Right, that's not okay. So what about New Hampshire? Yeah, a lot of these shows are under 10, and a couple of them are over, 20 or 30. I think MSG holds like 25 or 35. I'm not sure. Do you know?
No. MSG is under 20. It's like 19 and change, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like I said, I think this one's like 1,500 or something like that.
Things you can learn about on the Zizix webpage, I think.
Yeah, and there's Phish. There are Phish heads here. I just want to point out. I mean, you know them from the craziest of them that get to that go on tour, but
I do. Shout out Reiko.
You see those shows. You see those
like a week or 2.
You see those shows on YouTube, the Hibbia Park one at least, and yeah, it's 10% full of like Americans, but it's 85-90%, and Fuji Rock too. It's 85%, Japanese fans, and I actually made a Facebook group that was called like Atama ga Shak. It was like Facebook friends, and I like went and like scoured the web for like Phish heads in Japan.
Japanese Phish heads.
Yeah, I'm trying to reform the Rebel Alliance, but they're kind of actually kind of surprisingly hard to find. And I kind of feel like just based on like how many CDs you find in the record shops, like how many, I think a lot of people maybe got rid of their CD. Like, I don't know, like maybe anyway, will Phish come back to Japan? That's the question.
Yes,
okay.
They're coming for the rice ball.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, the pleasure of this show.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait. I think I'm on the next page. The pleasure of the show is observing the band slowly recognize these unfamiliar circumstances in real time. So does that imply that Rob Mitchum is there? I assume it does. There's an early hint of it in taste when Trey steps up a drone and approaches his solo from an unusual angle. What does that mean? An unusual angle?
So in our parlance today, a drone would be a thing that flies that you can surveil people with or take photographs. But I think that they mean like a droning tone.
No, I get that part. I was talking
Okay.
about approaches his solo from an unusual angle. How do you approach? That's what I was talking about.
Well, we'll have to listen.
Does he get sideways with it, or does
sideways? I don't know.
Does it come into the solo from a peculiar point?
Maybe he's in some kind of like weird tonal place. This is where we need Tuck. Where's Tuck? You would tell us.
But the rest of the first set mostly picks up where Roseland let off. So Roseland is Chicago, and inside this Robert Mitchum essays that he's got a new Substack for, you can go read about the Roseland show.
No, Roseland is.
Maybe it's not Chicago. It might not be Chicago.
Roseland Ballroom is in New York, New York.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, a little key. So is that's maybe the week of Pog that they didn't finish. They didn't finish.
We don't know yet.
A little keyed up and heavy on band alignment songs like Funky Bitch and Moma Dance. They wash their hands of Farmhouse promo, only 2 songs tonight, but they're still shaking off arena mode. That high-octane first tube into Chalk Dust set closer ends, predictably, with Trey doing his guitar wave trick. Or maybe the Brain Floss Theremin version he debuted on Hard Rock Live.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. But he had the theremin. He had a theremin, I think, for a while.
Well, Paige has a theremin.
I know, but I think Trey had one as well. I remember
What?
I think Trey had, yeah.
Double theremin
jam? I bet. Oh my God, there's like a gajillion comments here. I don't know if I can get to all these. Yeah. Okay, wait. There was one from 4D that I wanted to. I went past it. Sorry. 4D had an interesting comment. He said, unrelated. Turn the paragraph upside down and observe the effect. Don't change a word. Just reverse the order of the sentences. I learned a lot that way. It's a photography technique. You take the contact sheet and you turn the contact sheet upside down, and you can see things, in a new perspective. And it's like great.
Well, similarly, when I was doing my editing yesterday with my friend Sarah, that was so much of what we did to make sure the meaning was coming through is to like move the sentences around, change the order of the phrasing in the sentences. So I'm with you on that.
Okay, appreciate the dog log sub. Cypress, of course, Ninja Cat's hardcore. He was at the big Cypress show. Cat, Matt. Okay, Brian Gonzalez, you could barely find that Shibuya venue. Oh, you were in Shibuya.
Brian,
nice,
were you there?
Cool, dude. Awesome.
This is what teachers on tour can do. They can.
Okay, that's where they first performed the meat stick in Japanese. Yep, nice, dude. That's how I got shot.
Brian knows so much. Oh, I'll tell.
Okay, my friend grabbed the words that were taped to the stage after the show. Nice. That's a treasure. That's a super treasure.
Of that, Bri. We want to see that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What else do we have, Bri?
Let's see. Wait, thanks for subscribing, Hatchfly. Stream Elements is sending. That's a bot that's sending you. Oh, okay. I didn't.
Stream Elements?
Okay, we'll go.
Whatever.
There. I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that I accidentally pressed go on, but anyway. Greater than the symbol, we got symbols we got symbols because we got a band. Let's see, Santana 92. So that is the year.
Okay.
Those lyrics are history. Hold on to that paper. Okay, so God, that's amazing. That's so cool. 9,000-ish is Red Rocks. This is Sexy Witch in Japan too. No, Andrea is in Boulder, Colorado. Sexy Witch. You're getting you a second sexy.
Maybe I should change my YouTube channel name.
Well, that's better than Feather Girl 333. Sexy Witch.
Listen, Feather Girl is a
no, actually, I'm not. No shade at Feather Girl. Feather Girl's.
There's a story there. It's a moment.
Okay.
It's my PT handle too. If you guys are on Fantasy too, I don't post much, but sometimes in the set list threads, you'll hear Feather Girl say a thing or two. What else do we have, Bri?
Let's see. There were less than 100 Americans on Japan in 2000. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You probably know my old housemate. My old housemate was there. I kind of hesitate to mention his
Jesse?
name. No. Yeah.
Mike?
No.
Oh.
Nope. An old.
Drone
You know. Okay. Let's
hum.
see. From outro left field kind of angle. Gotcha. The guitar solo from left field. Yeah. I mean, there was like, if you listen to those, well, we'll get to them. We'll get to them. Jedi Dre
Gotta
playing with
talk
feedback
about
above
that
his head on Outer.
Jedi.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
come on the dog log, I want you guys to school me on the Jedi tone. It wouldn't
Oh,
twist
you know
around.
the Jedi tone. You have to, you know it. You just don't.
I'm sure I do. I just don't
You
have words.
definitely know it. It's yeah. I'll point it out. We got to get we got to get on chat together on shows. If you're on couch tour, and that goes for all of you guys. Ninja Cat, we have a hangout place. If anybody wants to hang out on couch tour, send me a follow Tokyo Record Style on Instagram. Send me a link, or send me a request, and I'll send you a. I'll see if I can, get you a seat on the sofa. Wow, amazing. Okay, so yes, Matt is. Sorry, I forgot to mention that Ninja Cat is in Denver. I knew that.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in Denver. So, and yeah, you guys have been at heaps of shows together, I'm sure. As probably you and I have.
wonder,
Ninja Cat.
Matt, too. Do you?
My first show is not. I don't know if I mentioned it. So yeah, Red Rocks '94, which I think you said you were there, and Ann and I saw. Yeah, all the Colorado shows basically back in the day.
I moved to Boulder in '96, so I was East Coast before that. All right, Ninja
Okay, let's
Cat
keep going.
Denver.
Yeah. Okay, but you hear the difference. Keep going. Let's see. So high octane first tube chalk dust set closer. Okay, and then the second set we're here at the tweezer opener. But you hear the difference right after set break when they quickly log a 31-minute lap of tweezer. Now this isn't the greatest half-hour tweezer you'll ever hear, other than some funk number 49 between the verses, a genuine club era Phish throwback. The first 18 minutes of its deliver fairly standard in 99 2000 wall of sound jamming. This is getting pretty deep in the weeds here, Rob. The key is that in any other setting it would have likely stopped there. Tweezer spent most of 1999 finishing up the mid. Tweezer spent most of night. Let's see. Hold on. The key is that in any other setting, it would have likely stopped there. Tweezer spent most of its 1999 finishing up in the mid-teens, and hadn't. Oh, he's talking about time. Sorry, and hadn't hit 30 minutes in close to 5 years. Okay, wow, well, that's special. 30-minute Tweezer in 5 years
in Japan, no less.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Instead, they keep the jam afloat with a quiet, effects-heavy segment. Yes, it begins with Trey on his keyboard, but the rest of the band feels more prepared to respond this time, with Mike quickly stepping back into the leading role he embraced on the Radio City Ghost, which we read about last time. I went back and listened to it. It was amazing. Did you listen to it?
I didn't, but one of the reasons I don't want to read too far in this thing is because I want to go listen to those. I want to go listen to these shows after having read this. I'm like, I definitely want to listen to that Fukuoka show. I have it, but I haven't listened to it in years.
Yeah.
But I want to go. I need to go listen to that Radio City Ghost. Yeah, Mike is this unsung hero.
No, it's really interesting, especially in the context of listening now, 25 years later. It's just so neat to hear all the little nuggets that are like the seeds that have now turned into the fruits. 25 years later of the jammy, you can hear the seeds of what we are sort of accustomed to now in our listening ears. All right.
I wonder if wait, we're not in 2. This is the only radio live Phish LPLP live Phish. It's the only 1.0. It's the only 1.0 release that's been put out yet out of 6, I believe, 6 discs. So that's kind of an interesting little tidbit.
And we talked about how at least your records come out on the lefty side of the sleeve.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
I love more power for lefties.
Okay.
Okay. Without having to push against a relentless large venue crowd, the familiar 99 sounds have time to bloom, with Trey using the Space Invaders preset in less predictable ways. Maybe it's as simple as the band being able to hear each other better, or smaller stage than usual, pushing them into unusual proximity, but it sounds much closer to what Trey likely envisioned when he added the Yamaha to his rig. I think they're talking about the piano. It rebuilds to another tweezer climb that's much more interesting than the first, and it puts the rest of the set in an adventurous mood. Bouncing comes as close to type 2, as it ever will, with Trey free soloing over the end instead of playing his usual arpeggios. Coyle flirts with a full band jam before eventually yielding the floor to Page, and Jabu meets Stick, the latter featuring the debut of the song's Japanese verse. Both provide electro jams that match the futuristic neighborhood. I was going to say something about this. When we looked at the set list, Squirming Coil is in the middle of the second set.
No, I didn't catch that.
And
That's interesting.
oftentimes, because there's this beautiful piano outro, it is an encore. It's the end of the first or second set. But I love the idea of the coil in the middle of a set. What happens after that? And I will just shout out, there was an awesome Squirming Coil from Dick's one year where Mike played the outro solo on his bass. And that fucking kicked ass. That was so cool.
Wait. What was the setup? What was that? Say he played the outro on his bass on when and why and how?
It was Dick's. It was
Dick's.
remember.
Oh, that's awesome.
2017.
I don't remember that.
Somewhere between 2015 and 2018. Maybe Brian Gonzalez will remember.
Wow, I want to go listen to that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was so great. And so I don't know if they talk about it before. I have no idea, but it's this amazing bass solo outro rather than the piano. I'm not sure if it's been done before. I wonder if anybody in the comments remembers what year that bass solo was, but that was really neat. I just love the idea of Squirming Coil in the middle of the set.
Sure, but I love it at where it always is, which is just we'll be right back. Thank you so much for being here. We're so happy to have you here.
I know that part is really sweet, but I don't know. I'm a fan of let's switch it up. Like, the song is not necessarily going to change, right? It's the form. It's the song. You know where it's going.
But in the same way, you don't want to follow, like, if you're a stand-up comedian, you don't want to follow like the best comedian that ever was. You don't want to.
It's like 4D Man was saying, if you move the order of the sentence,
okay, all right.
You yield something different. It's kind of like what you said about Brian Eno and the cards. You get stuck. Let's try something new. Let's take an approach that is totally out of left field and see how it impacts the way the song hits, the writing hits, etc. Well, I have more to say about that, but I'll stop there.
Ninja Cat's going to be in Austin. You guys might have to connect in Austin.
I wonder if we know each other already. I don't know if I look familiar to you, Ninja Cat.
Fukuoka Jam. We're going to go into it in depth on this. Probably not on this one because it's like the second to the last show. But we'll get there on the next week or the next week.
I'm so glad Brian is with us. Oh my
God. Dude, stoked, dude. Yeah, I'm saying everybody who's here hanging out. It doesn't matter if it's just like me and Andrea, but just the I mean, there's something about, like, it's kind of like it loses its I mean, not that I can attract, or either, Andrea has the charisma too, but I'm not going to attract more than
Riz.
There's 5 of us, who like are talking about Phish. It's awesome. It's just cool. I love it. And again, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, like I said, it goes in one ear and out the other for me. They went back to the 1.0 setup last night. Yeah, we were talking about that at the beginning of the stream. I feel it's really cool. And actually, that goes exactly to what you were saying. It's like we were just talking about, Coil being or in the middle of the set, like the Page being on the other side or Trey. Page has never been in a different spot. Page has always been in the same spot.
Has never been in a different spot.
But the three other boys are.
What would it be
musical
like
chairs.
if Trey and Mike switch spots, or like you had Fishman and Page in the middle?
I like to think about that. Actually, it's kind of an interesting thing to see the dynamics. I mean, I have 5 siblings or 4 siblings, and like we all have different dynamics. And there's the boys and the girls, and then there's the oldest and the youngest, and there's the first 3, and it's like, oh, it's cool. And you see Mike and Paige like in Europe, and they're like, give me the fucking gun. Or you hear Trey talk about Paige, or you see Trey you see Trey talk about Phish, or you see anyway.
I'll do one more paragraph and then let's keep going.
I think that's the last one. Joe, just read the rest of it.
Even the encore Yem, after the ugly American shuts up, takes its sweet time codifying the relaxed pace and spacious sound that the band would reside in for the rest of the week. Over the course of just one show, Phish has transformed from ingratiating promo mode to their usual relaxed and experimental travel attire. They're ready at last to start searching for the next chapter after Farmhouse, Big Cypress, and a very busy decade. And all it took was getting to the other side of the globe.
And then it's got a picture of the ticket stub.
Yeah. Can you zoom in on that, or like make yourself big? Because it's fucking cool. We don't even get to
my ink is out, but yeah.
But this is all in Japanese.
Smash is the yeah.
Smash.
Remember this, Brian?
On Air East.
Yeah, pretty cool, man. Just the thought of, it's. I mean, this era of Phish, where this is like, well, I guess it's like almost like every era is like this, but there's like no rules. This whole thing, it just like it suspends every tenet of what you expect, and especially when it comes to these like sort of sick at disc type musical explorations, and they were like venturing into like ambient type jams, and I this is part of some of my favorite stuff. And so Farmhouse, Big Cypress, I don't know, like I'm trying to remember like what 2000. I mean, my housemate who I lived with for a couple years went, and he had the funds to go. I didn't have the funds to go. It's like it was, and in those days Japan was like, now Japan's cheap, but in those days it was more expensive. The dollar was weaker there than it is now, and it was just prohibitively expensive. So yeah, Brian, how did you pull it off? I don't know how loud you had, and then did you go to all the shows? Because like that means you had to have been on the Shinkansen or had to have been on a plane, and it's like probably by the time the whole tour was over, you had spent $5 or $10 grand. It would have been a very, very expensive tour, I would think.
Maybe we'll find out. I'll find out. Well, I'm sure Brian and I will have all sorts.
Well, I would have liked to have gone. Just the thought of Phish, just like the quirky, weird, funny, silly, elegant, sophisticated band Phish in like, that's why I'm, it's a reflection of that's why I'm here. It's the country is a reflection of all those things.
Let's get to the Zepp.
You want to keep going? Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
Well, here, Anne, it's 3:30 in the morning. I want to keep going too, but I do have this big day, and I want to go for like an hour and a half. Do you want to? And then we chatted so long. Do you want to go? Should we go? We'll go. Let's do this one. Let's see how.
Let's just do this up, and then we'll call it.
Because, okay. All right.
We didn't start reading until like an hour and 7.
I know. Okay, let's go. I'll start. The title that Rob Mitchum has given this essay is "Laboratory Accidents," from June 10th, 2000 at Zepp Tokyo. So Zepp Tokyo is down in Odaiba. It's no longer there, but there's
What's Odaiba? Is that like a neighborhood in Tokyo?
wait, maybe Zepp Tokyo is still there. I haven't I saw the Pixies here. Who else did I see there? I saw what else did I see here? I just took my daughter to see a band here. Zepp Tokyo doesn't get it gets a lot of bands that I'm not that interested in. But it's a cool venue. Odaiba was once like a giant landfill out in the middle of like Tokyo Bay. It was like reclaimed land,
Okay.
and
Like
but
the
now it's like
dogs.
a modern city, and it's got these crazy buildings on it, and but nobody really wants to live there because they're nervous that it's like built on a trash pile.
Yeah, did they
But
just like shrink wrap it and like build a bunch of shit?
I don't know, but I think they've probably used a whole bunch of high tech stuff. It's probably one of the safe. I have no idea, but
All
it's
right.
nice. It's just a little like shopping, outlet malls and stuff, things like this.
Do you want to read
But
the set list from Zep?
sure. Set one, we got opens with Down with Disease. Then Sample. I'm a massive fan of Sample. And then this Piper gets a lot of attention in this article, I think. And then Lawn Boy, little page spotlight, and then Gayute. What do you
5-song
five
first
song set, yeah.
set.
And I think the Piper is the culprit here for the 5-song set. I think I've read that.
For those of you who don't know, we are all chasing like a 5-song set often. 4 songs may be better, but like a 5-song set, especially first set, we are curious about this. We are curious. Fish heads.
Second set opens with Heavy Things, Sand, which I'm on record as saying I don't really like that much.
That's dumb.
Sparkle. I love Sparkle. Sparkle is like one of my favorites. Like Sparkle is like
laughing, falling apart.
Like, don't worry, be happy. I love Sparkle. My Soul, Killer. That had to have landed really hard. And then Gin into a Jam. Okay, this was the Zepp Jam.
Gin Twist.
Okay, and then Twist, and then Albuquerque. I love Albuquerque. Then Waiting in the Velvet Sea, and then this first set closer, Loving Cup. Okay.
Give me a little drink.
And then encore, we've got In-Law Josie Wales and Limb by Limb.
Oh, I just got chills thinking about In-Law Josie Wales. It is, if you play guitar, this is one of those songs that you likely have fiddled around with as a Phish head. And if you haven't and you play guitar, you should listen to it. It's so beautiful. It has this kind of like classical guitar feel. It's really, really beautiful. I feel like this is a song that people want to learn on the guitar and diddle about, right?
I had a short fling.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I imagined you would have. I know you're more about the piano, but it's.
Anyway, yeah, the In-Law Josie Wales.
Yeah.
I had an In-Law Josie Wales in my life. Okay, so let's see. I'll start. Okay. Yeah. If you doubted my claim that the first night in Japan immediately flipped Phish into experimental mode, peep the numbers on this first set. There you go, Andrea already peeped them. Within the first 3 songs, the band has already stuffed in 2 20-minute jams, and if the rest of the show doesn't live up to that early promise, it's poking in interesting directions. With only 7 shows and 8 days to capitalize upon the unique circumstances of Japan, it's clear that Phish doesn't want to waste any time getting used to the new time zone. But here's the thing about experiments. They don't always work out. By taking the shackles off, this show, and I suspect others to come this week, scratches the tension at the core of 2000 and the band's struggle to find a new direction. The small rooms and attentive crowds of Japan might encourage Phish to explore quiet and sparse territories, but the gravitational pull of the band's current phase is in the opposite direction. Very loud, very dense.
Good reading on that paragraph. You slowed down. That was really awesome.
Thanks, Pete.
Every era of Phish has its jamming center of gravity, the default style they are most likely to fall back on. In the early 90s, it was tension release dynamics and slow builds, followed by periods of hard rock windmilling, cowfunk, and arena ambient. At the turn of the millennium, that last one hadn't yet expired, but it had spawned an evil, heavy shoegaze twin. Roughly speaking, an era that started with exploring textures ended with Trey trying to stack up as many of those sounds as possible, like a game of sonic Jenga. Before Phish can reach the minimal extreme of that relationship in Four More Nights, they have to go through the maximalist opposite tonight. Surprisingly, it doesn't happen in Disease, a song that will spend the year particularly vulnerable to the high decibel treatment. Tonight, it avoids that fate thanks to some unusual, maybe even experimental restraint from Trey, who avoids his boo and synth crutches and focuses on rhythm guitar with only light effects. Interestingly, I think we heard that last night in that Twist Jam, right? You got to go back and listen to it. A lot of Trey, just like kind of rhythmic, textural, really opening up space for everybody else to play around, which was cool.
Yeah, I heard that. I was tapped into that for sure.
While it's not exactly quiet, it's at least lean and mean in how it navigates a propulsive rock progression before decaying naturally into a peaceful, weightless final section.
How does Disease end?
Waiting for the time when I can finally
This is
say,
all wonderful. That's such a great ending. Such a great part.
or I mean, who knows how it ends? It's often
Sure.
goes the fuck
Could go
far
anywhere.
out
Yeah, right.
to something else.
Should we read it? Let's read a couple comments real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Every show, says Brian Gonzalez. He went to every show.
Bullet
Nice,
trains. Yeah, Bri. Fuck yeah, dude.
dude. Hold
All
on.
that
Let
money
me go
from
back a little bit
Aspen
further. I
Gay
think.
Ski Week may be coming in.
Oh, so the show that Mike ends with the bass, the gin or the lawn boy ends with the is 2017.
2017.
But
Okay.
it's a stoner's memory.
Right. So I'll send you a YouTube video of it. It's really good.
He says, not yet. I'd remember you, Andrea. You guys haven't met
Oh.
yet. Okay. You got a
Can't
lot
wait.
of admirers here, Andrea.
I'll take that.
You're a rock star, but I don't know your name. Tokyo, you look like a Brian. Yes, I'm definitely a Brian. Separating drums and piano helps clarity. What were we talking about on that?
Oh, we were talking about the stage setup.
Okay. Separating drums and piano helps clarity. Okay, that's an interest. Okay, it makes sense. I've never heard that, but I wouldn't know. But like that sounds pretty interesting. Hold on. I skipped over. Sorry. I've got 1,000 different stubs. Oh my god, 1,000. Good grief. Have you been to 1,000 shows?
More music than just Phish, but yeah, I keep my stubs.
How many shows has Phish played? Do we know? It's over 1,000, right?
Phish?
Yeah.
I'll find out. Keep reading.
Okay. Every show, bullet trains, baby. Street cred. Well done, man. It was $2,000.
Real quick,
cheaper than
Phish has played a total of 1,858 shows. AIO review says.
If Ninja Cat's insane, he's been to he's got 1,000 ticket stubs.
No, that can't be right. We want Ninja Matt. We want to know how many shows you have.
Oh shit, Brian Gonzalez, check your text for a pic of the lyrics, the Japanese lyrics. Holy shit!
I know. I saw it come through. That's when I dropped my phone.
Drop it over to me and let me share it on screen. Send it over.
Well, I'll have to leave, and okay. Do you want me to
do
that?
I want to see him. Fuck yeah, I want to see him for sure.
I don't know. Can you still see me or
not?
Yeah,
you're fine.
Okay. Brian Gonzalez.
Okay.
Photo.
Send it to me and then I'll share it.
Copy. How should I send it to you, Brian?
I don't know. How forward has Facebook? Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Brian, do all our neighborhood in Tokyo. Yeah, Odaiba. Piper was killing that time period. Okay, let's see. 4 songs set at the Gorge, 98. Well done, Ninja Cat. We should go. We should look up that show. I mean, we might need like a. Uh-oh, there she goes. Don't worry, we'll get you back. And she just hold on. I'll check to see if she sent it over. I want to see the freaking handwritten lyrics of Meat Stick. Are you kidding me? That sounds so cool. I wonder. I'm sure. Obviously, they're written in. Oh, she didn't send it through. Obviously, they're written in like phonetical English. But yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Why are they making me do this? Okay, she's back. There she is. I see you. Get back up here.
All right, here I am. I sent.
Okay, did you send it?
Yeah, I sent it over.
I don't see it.
Pages.
Oh no, it didn't. It's not. It's still. Maybe it's still uploading or something.
No, I sent it.
Okay, all right. Well, let me just see what happens.
We can always use it in our promo for
we'll come back to it
for our next thing.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brian.
exactly.
That's awesome, Brian G.
Yeah, sorry if it doesn't come through. I'm bet you. Oh, there it is. It's like blinking. It's like 3 dots. It's so exciting. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, your friends can find you in their world of Mondegreen. I never heard that.
Oh, I didn't know that one either. Wow.
Your friends can find you. Your friends can find
you in their world. One by one.
Don't they?
A string of pearls.
Yes.
You said it isn't me. You looking at you can't see. Can find you in their worlds. Wow, that's pretty cool, man.
All right, sorry.
Okay, we're gonna share this. Let me see if I can do this.
Your friends can find you in their worlds. Interesting. You know, one of my favorite Mondegreens of the modern era is Axilla instead of Axilla. Our gang of friends who confine us in our worlds. They say acts of love. And I really enjoy singing that. Acts of love. Acts of love.
That's pretty cool.
That's a good one. Hippies.
Yeah. There was another one that we were talking about earlier. How do I get this? Facebook, maybe. Yeah, here it is.
I hope it's not too loud in the ambient
sound
of my world.
It's okay. Yeah. Can you guys see it? I don't know. I can't. Oh, it's going
here
really,
comes.
It's really sluggish.
Thank you, Brian. It's up.
Okay. It's showing? I can't see. I mean,
no.
There it is.
Yeah, I can see
it's
it.
It's really laggy.
Oh, there it is.
見つける時間、見つける時間、隠して見つける時間。What is it? Tori Dashta. Mitsuku G. That should be G-Con. I thought it was like G-Con. G-Con. Mitsuku G-Con is meat stick time. G-Con is time. Mitsuku G-Con. Mitsuku Kakushita is hide the meat stick. Is hide. Kakushite is hide.
Or hide.
Mitsuku G-Con. Tori Dashta. What's Tori Dashta? I actually don't even know what this is. G-Con is time. And Atama is head, right? Atama is head. And shock is shock. So Atama ga shock.
My head, not my brain.
Yeah. Shock to my head. Yeah, they have to say. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, wait,
that's freaking
Japanese parlance. This is psycho.
Psycho. You're close. Psycho. Very cool, man. Look at that.
Mean, like super awesome?
Psycho, yeah, very. It means super awesome. Dang, dude. That's amazing. That's real special, dude. Appreciate you sharing that. That's like legendary. That's like goes in the
Brian
that's
is
like
hardcore.
Dude, that's awesome.
The whole Japanese tour. He did all of the Baker's Dozen, all what was it? 13 shows, Baker's Dozen.
Oh, dude, you know what I got?
What'd you get?
Holy shit. Hold on. Hold on. I got
Is it a
something
record?
really...
It's probably some vinyl
No. Dude, I have... You're never going to fucking believe this.
Wait, go back to you and me, because
Dude, hold on. You're never going to fucking believe this.
Eyes.
I know. Hold on. This is amazing, Brian. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is so awesome. But you're never going to believe what I have. You're never going to fucking believe this. I have a slide.
It looks like a tiny slide.
I have a film slide of that fucking picture. Let me see if I can... I need like a white background. I have that fucking picture, dude, from the poster. That's so crazy. I saw these slides on like an auction site, these like promo slides. Look what it says here.
Make it close. Can you put it closer to the camera? Put it closer to the camera, Bri.
That's how much closer do you want? Okay. I
figure
it's like gonna go out of focus, but okay. I gotta see it, yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Nice. Is that in Japan, I'm guessing?
No, I don't think so. Huh. I got another one too. I have... Check that. You've never seen this one. Check this one out.
I've never seen anything in this medium before.
Out. I know. Hold on. Look at this. I need like how should I do it? I need like a light on it, but
you need to maybe print these.
I know. I got them to scan. It's like they say it says Phish on it. Like, how cool is that?
Where do you find that?
I found it online and I was like, what are these?
Wow.
And they're like promotional slides, but it's crazy that Brian has the poster from... this was a promo photo, but like I have that slide. I don't know if it's something... I'm sure they like duplicated them somehow, and they hold on a second. They sent them out as promotional things. There's probably thousands of them out there.
Wow, but that's really cool.
That was fun, man. That was fun. Okay, so we're still going on the Zep thing.
Okay.
I've totally lost my...
That's cool. I'll read us into the paragraph that you're up on. You're looking for Not So Much Piper. Trey, who avoids his boo-wee-oo and synth crutches and focuses on rhythm guitar with only light effects. While it's not exactly quiet, it's at least lean and mean in how it navigates a propulsive rock progression before decaying naturally into a peaceful, weightless final section.
Okay. Not So Much Piper, which has ironically become the symbol of the band's shift towards excess. When it debuted, the song was an exercise of patience, a test of how long the band could stick to quietly playing a single lilting chord. What's lilting, Anne?
Lilting chord progression. Lilting, like think of like a 1-2-3 waltz, like the Tennessee
lilting.
waltz.
Lilting. Okay. Lilting chord progression before the potential energy buildup became like too much to contain. Okay, I like that. The lilting. I'm going to use that. Now, Piper's in a hurry. Tonight, they're singing the lyrics before the 2-minute mark. And by 3 minutes, they're already at full velocity. And they stay at that level for 13 minutes of the jam, with all of Trey's unused toys from Disease getting a full simultaneous workout. I'm all for noisy Phish, but that's a long time to keep the throttle down. It's exhausting to listen to, even more so, I assume, to play. Unfortunately, the tidal wave of volume and notes doesn't leave a lot of oxygen for any other ideas. There's not really a melodic theme established until they finally back off a little bit for the last 8 minutes. Even then, it's clumsy and brutish, with none of the ambient elegance of Disease's landing pad. I can imagine it being an overwhelming sensory experience in the 3,000 capacity Zep Tokyo. Yeah, it's a bit bigger than O-East. Like sitting front row at a Formula One race. But on an audience tape, it blurs into migraine-inducing hum. Yeah, Rob Mitchum throwing some shade here at Piper.
Piper is one of those songs that I feel like people debate, and I think about it too, like long intro, slow build versus jump right into the Piper, right? So
Piper saved Farmhouse for me. Like I was like, oh God, please let there be anything of substance on this record that I like loved on my first listen.
weren't
And
we
finally I
talking
was like,
about how Farmhouse is sort of variable last week? And I went back and listened, and I was like,
oh really? Okay. No, oh well, we can visit that on another thing. Yeah,
I
okay.
thought we did.
Is it the
And
last track on Farmhouse? I feel like it is the last track on Farmhouse, but anyway.
shall I
Those
finish?
two. Is it me? It's you. It's you. Yeah.
Last paragraph. I'll finish it.
Oh, sorry, I can read it. Those you want, I'll read it. Okay. Those two early excursions burn off most of the improvisational energy for this show, apart from a promising but brief interstitial jam between gin and twist. Instead, the second set feels mostly interested in exploring the opposite of Piper's density, the simple pleasures of playing quietly in a nice sounding room. Both gin and twist burbling pleasantly without succumbing to complete entropy. And a fourth quarter heavy on ballads feels anticlimactic yet well suited to club acoustics. Pretty soon, they will figure out how to apply those benefits to unscripted material. But tonight, they're still getting familiar with the laboratory conditions. Laboratory conditions.
Laboratory.
The
I
laboratory
love that
conditions.
word, burbling, hot on the heels of lilting. I think that that's kind of fun.
There's the ticket. Okay. Well,
Wait, show
so
us the ticket.
I mean, it's just the Zep Tokyo ticket. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, my there's nothing really to write home about. It's got some kanjis on there,
Kanji.
but
All right.
I'm laggy suddenly. Let me. Yeah.
That's all good.
Yeah. Stop screen.
Well, this is our shortest episode yet. We are potentially stopping at under 2 hours, which it's quite late in the.
Hold on. Let's read the comment. Let's read the comments. It's
Yeah.
4
Let's
o'clock
do
in the
some
morning,
comments
dude.
before
I
we
gotta
sign
get.
off. It's
It's
been a
like
fun gang in the comments today.
it was
Thank you,
fun.
friends.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Saw the 4 songs set at the Gorge. Okay, we've read those.
Yeah, we saw that.
Many different bands. He says. Okay, seen Phish around 200 times. Okay, has anybody seen?
Me too.
Okay. You're at your 200th show? 100th show? Where are you at? Your next show is like a big one.
I'm at 197 currently. So I think the first night at Folsom will be 200.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
The 5
Brian
songs
loves
set
a
at
five
Zep.
set for
Okay.
five song set. We all do.
Most Japanese is phonetical when using Western letters, right? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, there's like katakana English. It's yeah. What I mean, like meat stick, mito stick. That's like an example of mito is like meto. There's no like T. There's no T sound. There's only tati tu te to or tachitsu te to, but that's a weird example. But yeah, anyway.
I'm not following, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, Japanese out.
Ganjagu for Gadajabu.
Okay.
Yeah. We know about the Ganjagu.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I'm getting schooled tonight.
Yeah, you knew that once when we were probably on the Ganjagu together. All right, what else we got?
No comment. Let's see. Time for the meat stick. That's dope, man. We're talking about the lyrics of the handwritten lyrics. Insane, legendary, super awesome.
Yeah,
that's
Brian.
You made my week,
you
dude.
You are legendary, Brian.
Dude, seriously, that was like the best thing ever. I think that was the promo poster of the tour. Yeah, man. I zoom, slide, do millennials know about slide projectors? Yeah, I know, man. Maybe not. I have a slide projector. I have a yeah, and I'll scan them. Although slides don't scan, unfortunately, that well, but I'll scan
You
one.
could project them and photograph them and kind of play with the resolution, maybe.
Okay,
Like
I'm
pick
getting
of a pick. What else do we
okay.
got?
My stream bot's thanking
Lost
people
track
for
around
subscribing.
150.
I lost track around 150. Yeah, man. I think I'm like at 20. I don't even know if I've seen 20 shows. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you definitely saw 20 shows, bro.
Maybe I don't even know. But I've seen for almost everything on Couch Tour since like 2009 or I don't know. Nah, that's not true. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
Okay, what else do we got?
that's it. That's everybody. There's only 6 of us here.
Well, thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yeah.
My world. Thanks, Bri.
Yeah, it's so fun, man. I just love it. It's so much fun hanging out. And like,
I'm
yeah.
glad to hear you say that. We'll continue.
Why? Why do you think I don't feel it? My heart's exploding with happiness to do this with you.
It's just good to hear that. I woke up thinking about our slight political argument this morning. I was like, God, I hope.
Whatever.
And last night, Brian was like, Hey, do you have a sec to talk? And I was like, No, I'm going to bed. And
Oh
you were
yeah.
like, you
Well, I
gave
was
me a.
gonna. Well, that was dessert. That was a dessert.
I was just tired.
I mail.
I've
Okay,
been
for the record,
smoking
I
a lot
mail
of
and
pot
like
was just
I
regular.
mail Andrea. It's like 10 o'clock at her time, and it's
I
like
was ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I just need to say to you, you know what I needed to say to you is that
No.
I did all my homework, and I'm just to let you know that if you want to print this thing up, it's all right there. And instead, it's
A+.
I got the
You
I'm
got.
going to sleep, and I'm like, can I just have like 1 second? You're like, good night.
I know I did say
Fuck
I don't
off.
know boundaries. Like I'm working on these things. It's my
That's good, actually. No, it's good. I should have more
I
boundaries.
just know that if you and I start talking, it's never a minute. We're gonna talk about all the things, and I didn't want to get caught in the weeds. I just like quietly do my meditation and go to bed.
It's true. It's true. That's why I was like, oh, she's right, actually. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, I love you. Yeah, it's just so fun to hang out, and for this time around, 2 hours works. You got to go to bed.
Yeah, we like going big. I like going. I like seeing how far we can go. I'm so inspired. I'm so inspired by the show opener tonight and the the reconfiguration. I just think it's like I'll see you guys in Boulder and Austin and Boulder. Okay, you gotta look out for Ninja Cat Matt. I think if you want to understand this band, and I'm preaching to the choir, I realize, but you have to it's an act of all right.
No, it's great. I was gonna say you have to take LSD, but that's not true. But I personally find that quite helpful.
No,
that's my witches. That's my ritual.
No, I guess you have to be in awe of how giant the swings are and how giant the potential for failure is, and that's what I'm inspired by this podcast. And if we suck at this, it will be because we tried as hard as we could and we failed. But that's all I want to do because I'm so inspired by this band, so I'm going to keep going for it.
Well, Brian, that's one of the things that makes me excited about our podcast. Like, it's really easy to be a commentator in the world. It's really easy to say a bunch of shit, but people who do things, who put their conversations, their art, their creativity into the world, as risky as it feels, it is incredibly exhilarating. And I feel that flush of being a human every time we do a podcast, every time I play a show with my band, every time I, start a new school year with the kids. It could go terribly wrong. Isn't that the incredibly exciting thing about life? It could go wrong. And when it doesn't,
not only it could go wrong and you could save it.
Yeah.
You could rescue this ship from sinking, maybe.
You sure could.
Be a hero,
Listen,
glory.
If we entertained our 6 watchers and they had
4,
fun,
there's 4 of us.
Whatever. If people had fun and felt connected, then that's what I'm here for. I love just giggling with you and connecting with you. And hopefully that translates to our mighty audience of 4 to 6. Maybe some squirrels. I think 340 man last time was like, there's a few squirrels watching as well. So yes, uncounted numbers. Oh shit.
Okay.
Share the stream with your friends if you think that they would enjoy this banter. We are happy to have you get the word out for us. And Matt, nice to meet you. There was somebody else that was new to me in Scotland. Who was that?
Paul
Paul
McCartney.
McCartney.
Peter,
Yes.
sorry, Peter McCartney.
Peter, Paul, and Mary McCartney. The house.
And
4D.
Brian.
Does
Yeah,
4D
and
have
4D.
a real name? I'd love to address 4D.
I think he does,
right?
but I think he just goes by 4D.
All right. Well, maybe one of these days we'll find out. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Great to see you, Bri.
All right, good to see you, Tan. I'll see you on the next stream.
Sounds great. Peace.
All right. Cayute.
Cayute.
Okay.